This is Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa. The story of resurgent and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel. Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa.
Hello and welcome. I'm Gamichi Samandira and you're watching POA News. Stay with us for in-depth coverage of the stories that are shaping our region and beyond. In a wide-ranging interview with Pulse of Africa, POA, Samia Yaba Christina Nkrumah, daughter of Ghana's first president and Pan-African icon, Kwame Nkrumah, urged African nations to return to the original vision of continental unity, arguing that only collective development can deliver lasting prosperity. Speaking during her visit to Ethiopia's Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, GERD, Nkrumah praised the project as a symbol of what Africans can achieve when they stand together. She said the dam embodies the determination and sacrifice of ordinary Ethiopians who contributed financially and morally to realize a dream many thought impossible. Nkrumah emphasized that Africa's first-generation independence leaders, including her father, believed deeply in coordinated continental development.
56 years ago, the fight was to defeat colonialism, settler colonialism, and apartheid. And you know why we managed to overcome these ills? Because we united. All countries helped each other. Today, we have a different fight. Today, our fight is to defeat poverty, unemployment, underdevelopment, economic domination, economic dependency on the outside world. So if Africa unites, if we unite, fuse our resources, human resources, mineral resources, natural resources, our capabilities, if we put them together to invent and build and create our industries, manufacturing, our infrastructure, more glorious projects like this, then we are going to go far.
Reflecting on Africa's past struggles, she noted that unity once enabled the continent to overcome colonialism, settler rule and apartheid, but she warned that today's challenges are economic rather than political. She called unity the key to Africa's next chapter, expressing the aspiration for a big African nation, a superpower that will make sure the people have all what they need. GERD, she said, demonstrates the kind of continental-scale ambition Africa must embrace to transform its future. Nkrumah urged African leaders and citizens to revisit her father's teachings, especially his famous warning delivered in Ethiopia, "We must unite or perish." She stressed that true unity must be both political and economic, requiring continuous dialogue across cultures, languages and traditions.
Many of you donated, contributed and sacrificed. So that shows a spirit of determination, you know, and we commend you for that and we are proud of that spirit. This is what we need to do and we need to replicate this all over the continent. But as I said, it's my prayer that we work together, our different countries, to make more projects like this Renaissance Dam for the good of all the people of Africa.
In our African knowledge system, we talk and talk until we build consensus, she said. We'll never agree on everything, but we can find common ground for development. For today's generation, she believes the responsibility is clear. Talk more, cooperate more, and work intentionally toward the dream set out 6 decades ago. Moving to Benin, Benin has received approval for a significant loan from the African Development Bank to launch the first phase of an agricultural transformation program in the country's Savannah region. The plan focuses on boosting domestic poultry meat output By linking maize, soybean and poultry production systems, the initiative aims to improve food security, create jobs and support inclusive economic growth by promoting modern farming methods with a strong private sector participation. The approach draws inspiration from Brazil's Cerrado region, which transformed into a major food-producing zone through targeted investment and technology. Bank officials say the program will unfold in multiple phases to support steady growth of the poultry sector, especially broiler production, which depends on reliable feed and quality inputs. Farmers will receive supplies and equipment to raise productivity, along with support for better soil management, water use and climate resilience. The project also includes a research platform to advance crop systems based on maize, soybean, and plans for new storage facilities and drying areas to reduce post-harvest losses. Thousands of people in the Savannah zone are expected to benefit directly, with many more receiving indirect gains, including a significant share of women in each group. Now, Madagascar. Madagascar has launched a wide-ranging national consultation aimed at shaping a new constitution and preparing the foundation for what is being called the country's Fifth Republic. The opening event took place in the capital and gathered leaders from government, politics, diplomacy, religious groups and civil society. Officials say the process is designed to ensure that citizens across the country play an active role in defining future governance. The dialogue will run for several months and move through all levels of local administration, beginning with community units and extending to communes, districts and regions to capture views from every part of the country. President Mikhail Randarinda had announced plans to the national consultation in November, presenting it as a step toward building a more inclusive and durable political system. Uganda and the United States have entered a new long-term health cooperation deal aimed at strengthening the country's capacity to combat infectious diseases. The agreement aligns with Washington's push for partner nations to gradually move from aid dependence to stronger self-reliance in public health. The plan will channel significant United States funding into Uganda's fight against HIV and AIDS, tuberculosis and malaria, while also supporting health workers and disease monitoring systems. Uganda will raise its own health spending to take a greater responsibility as the partnership progresses. Both governments say the framework is designed to help build a stronger and more resilient national health system capable of responding to both new and persistent disease threats. With this pact, Uganda joins other African nations, including Kenya and Rwanda, that have recently entered similar agreements with the Trump administration. Moving on to business news, the Dangote refinery increased national petrol supply in November, marking a clear rise from the previous month, even as overall demand continued to exceed planning targets. Regulatory data showed that local consumption remained higher than expected, putting pressure on the fuel supply chain. The refinery announced plans to significantly increase deliveries during the festive season to stabilize nationwide availability. Aliko Dangote stated that the facility would provide a much larger daily volume starting in early December to ensure smooth distribution through holidays. National fuel supply also improved due to a rebound in imports and delayed shipments that finally arrived, helping to strengthen stock levels. This pushed petrol sufficiency slightly higher, though the system remains vulnerable to any disruption in local production or imports. Demand for diesel continued to grow, reflecting increased transport and industrial activity. Cooking gas supply exceeded national use, yet distribution gaps kept market sufficiency low. Gas delivery to power plants and commercial users remained steady, while new refinery development licenses signaled ongoing investment in the sector. Despite some improvements, fuel sufficiency across products varied widely, with cooking gas and petrol showing the greatest fragility. Retail petrol prices remained within a broad band across the country, shaped by transport costs, regional logistics and seasonal demand pressures. Moving on to West African news. The regional bloc has approved sweeping reforms aimed at lowering the high cost of flying within Nigeria and the wider West Africa region. The decision follows long-standing concerns that heavy taxes and multiple charges have slowed aviation growth and discouraged travel. At a summit in Abuja, leaders adopted a measure that will eliminate certain taxes on air transport and reduce passenger and security charges starting early next year. The bloc said years of excessive fees have made West Africa one of the world's most expensive regions for air travel, burdening passengers with numerous charges and weakening airline operations. The Commission warned that the high cost of flight limits movement affects tourism, slows trade, and undermines the region's goal of free mobility. Aligning with global aviation standards, the new framework on charges and taxes is intended to fix structural issues that have held the sector back. The reform is expected to bring low ticket prices, high passenger traffic, stronger airlines, more active airports, and broader economic benefits for local communities. Member states will need to adjust their national policies for full implementation, while airlines are expected to pass on cost reductions to travelers. To ensure compliance, the bloc will introduce a new regional oversight mechanism and support other aviation initiatives, including shared maintenance facilities and harmonized safety rules. Now sports. President Coach Edwin Simeon Okratu of the Ghana Football Association visited destination DC in a bid to explore strategic partnerships ahead of the 2026 FIFA World Cup set to take place across the United States, Canada and Mexico. The visit follows World Cup final draw, which placed Ghana in Group L. During the one-day walking trip, Simeon Okratu and his delegation discussed potential collaboration in tourism promotion, cultural exchange, commercial ventures, and diaspora engagement. The meeting included Kimberly Bassett, Secretary of the District of Columbia, who joined to support initiatives for mutual development. The delegation, which included key GFA officials, focused on leveraging Ghanaian and African communities in the U.S. to rally support for the Black Stars while establishing long-term development opportunities beyond the tournament. Destination DC, the official tourism marketing body for Washington, D.C., plays a major role in driving economic growth through travel and tourism. The engagement is seen as a step toward enhancing Ghana's international visibility and operational readiness for World Cup. Ghana's Group L fixtures will see the Black Stars face Panama in Toronto, England in Boston, and Croatia in Philadelphia as the association intensifies preparations for a strong showing on and off the field. Let's take a look at the most recent forecast to understand the expected weather conditions across the region. That concludes our broadcast from POA News for this hour. We appreciate your company and be sure to stay with us for more updates from Africa.